everyone, my name's Corey. I am a high-level Zenyatta main, and one of the questions I get asked most often about playing Zenyatta is how to use Discord Orb. Because in my opinion, Discord Orb is one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game, and there is no clear-cut answer on how and when to use it. I wish there was a quick answer that I could give everyone, like a little chart that I could show you that says, oh, always Discord Mercy first. But really, it's something that you can have a 10-minute discussion on, so that's going to be the point of this video. So the question of how to use Discord Orb really breaks down into two categories. Category 1, when to use Discord, and 2, who to put Discord on. First part of when is the easy part to answer, and that answer is always. If you did not know, Discord Orb animation cancels into your shooting. You can practice this on bots in the practice range. If you hold down left click, you can actually Discord without decreasing your rate of fire at all. You can do this wrong though. You're going to have to learn how to do the animation cancel correctly, but if you practice a little bit on trained bots by shooting them and intentionally missing and seeing if you can get your rate of fire to stay consistent while you Discord them, then you're not going to lose any sort of DPS and you're always going to have a Discord on somebody. So that's the easy answer. Now for the hard answer of who to Discord, because it really is a hard answer. I could not think of a good one rule for this. I thought of 4 things to consider when you do this. So we're going to go through these 4 categories. I'm going to go through them in order of least important to most important. First category, least important one, is what I'd call feeding. Now, this game heavily relies on ult economy, charging your ultimates, etc. How do you charge ultimates? By doing damage. So imagine a target like a Roadhog or a D.Va. You put Discord Orb on them, they're going to take 30% more damage. Roadhog and D.Va have very large hitboxes and very large head hitboxes. They're very easy to just do damage to, and Roadhog doesn't have a shield for himself and D.Va doesn't have a shield for herself except for the 2 seconds of defense matrix. It goes away very quick. So if you just passively Discord these targets, your DPS characters can farm ults off of them. Now the reason this is the least important tip, 2 things. 1, this is a double-edged sword, because the enemy supports are also going to charge their ults off of what you're doing. So if the enemy is running a Sombra or a Mercy who doesn't have Valkyrie yet, you should not do this. You should not just randomly Discord tanks if the enemy is running a Sombra, because all that tank has to do is walk to a health pack and you just gave Sombra a free EMP. That's actually a very bad thing to do in this scenario. Second point, when is it a good thing to do? Because there's definitely time it's a good thing to do. Imagine the enemy's running Lucio and Zen as their healers, which was the meta comp before Mercy got buffed. Lucio and Zen can only do so much healing. They don't have big burst healing except for the ultimates. Zenyatta does 35 per second. Lucio has a small AoE. If you Discord a D.Va and make her just eat 200 or 300 damage, you are going to either waste Lucio's amp or force her to disengage, or force something to happen. And this ties into part 2. I'm going to call disabling. So this is the second of 4 points. Disabling. Alright, so D.Va just chewed 300 or 400 damage because you Discorded her and you told everybody to just shoot her. She didn't die because she's not dumb, but her mech is very low HP. So, what needs to happen is either she needs to disengage or resources need to get wasted on her. Which is big. That creates an opening for your team. Because healing, in a way, is a resource in this game. Anna has to use her grenade, or Moira has to use her healings, or Lucio has to use his amp. That's part 1 of disabling. Part 2 of disabling is more important, in my opinion. And it's for disabling what I call the finely tuned heroes of Overwatch. Imagine a character like Winston. Winston has 500 HP. His primary job is to jump in, land on a squishy character like a Genji, zap them, kill them, and jump out without dying. That's what he does at the simplest level. I know it's more complex than that, but for the purposes of this example, that's what Winston's doing. Winston is balanced so that 500 HP makes him a fair fight for Genji, because Winston can only do 60 DPS. As fast as his gun goes, there is no way to make it go faster. That means he needs to spend a while zapping Genji in order to actually kill him. And in that time, a lot of his HP is going to get taken away. You put Discord on a Winston, it takes him from 500 health to effectively less than 400. It hurts Winston's survivability so much that Winston is disabled, like how you disabled the D.Va before. He can't even go in. He has to really think before he jumps in. He says, I have Discord on me. I can't do this. I can't just jump there, Genji. I'm gonna get melted. It's not just Winston. Think of a character like Genji, another finely tuned character, or a character like Doomfist, even more so Doomfist. Doomfist has 200 HP, 250 HP, and he needs to get in with one of his movement abilities, get out, and then use another movement ability to get out. And he needs to not lose his HP in that time. If you put Discord on him, he has effectively less than 200 HP. And he's going to be very easy to clean up. He's going to be feeding. All that you need to do is land a couple of shots. You can kill him yourself if he's discorded. Doomfist is actually very easy to target for Zen. Zen's a hard counter for him. Same thing with Winston. Zen is actually the hardest counter in the game to Winston, in my opinion, more so than Roadhog and Reaper. Like, when I'm a support main, but in ranked, I actually like spamming Winston a lot. And the real things that give you difficulty are good Zenyatas. A Roadhog and a Reaper you can avoid because they're low mobility heroes, but Zen can throw a Discord on you from across the map, and you're screwed. It just limits your effectiveness so much. Alright, that's part 2. So the 2 things we considered so far are disabling, how you can make tank players and DPS players, squishies, just not able to do their job, and part 1 was feeding and wasting enemy resources, but you have to be careful that you don't accidentally charge the enemy support. Part 3. Third thing to consider, even more important than the last 2, it's availability, or I'm going to call freeness, how free the kill is. Pretty much the enemy's positioning. If the whole enemy is on point, and their Mercy is being a bot, and is 50 feet away from them, just in the open, please Discord that Mercy. She's free. It doesn't have to be a Mercy, it could be the most random character. If there's a random character whose teammates cannot help them, Discord them, and then tell your Winston and D.Va to jump on them. That should just be a universal rule. If there is a character by themselves, and your Winston and D.Va, either of them, have a movement ability to get to that character, you should just Discord them immediately, call it out, and have your Winston or D.Va jump on them. It's a free kill. You have to consider things like that. Discording Mercy might not always be the best idea, even though Mercy's Mercy, if she's sitting in the middle of the point inside of her Roadhog's hitbox. You can't kill the Mercy like that. At that point, you're better off going back to point 1 and point 2 with feeding and disabling, and Discord the Roadhog just to make him go away. You don't want to Discord the Mercy, though. That's a good example of it. Alright, now the 4th point, once we got to availability, is importance. So in this meta, Mercy, super important. She is the character to beat, the character to kill. You see a Mercy, Discord a Mercy. Unless, as I just said in the previous example, she's sitting on the point inside of her team behind 2 shields and with a Roadhog babysitting her. Then you don't Discord Mercy and use Discord as a tool to break your way in. Though Mercy isn't the only important character, I think in any other meta other than this one, the main tank is the most important character to kill, being Winston or Reinhardt. So if you could put a Discord on them, you pretty much always should. It just puts so much pressure on them. Like if you're playing against a Rein and he drops his shield for a second to Fire Strike, throw a Discord orb on him to scare him. Even if he can hold shield up and not take damage, the Discord is just going to make him act differently. He knows he can't go for an aggro play. Now this is going back to disabling. He just can't go for an aggro play because he knows he can't die, because the main tank is the #1 role in terms of importance in Overwatch, in my opinion, at least. You could argue that Mercy in this current meta is more important, but across the whole history of the game, main tank is the #1 role. If your main tank dies first, the fight's over. You might as well just leave and go unless you know that you're about to get some crazy picks with your defense. Like if your main tank dies and you don't have a pick to make up for it, just leave. That's what a good team does. What a disciplined team does. They say, we lost our main tank. It's the same thing with losing a Mercy in this meta. We lost our Mercy. Unless something crazy is about to happen to equalize it, just give up. Just give up and reset. Jump off the map or charge your ults. Alright, I believe that is it for the purpose of this video. So, to summarize, when do you Discord? Always. Always Discord at least somebody. You can do it for free if you learn how the animation cancel works. Part 2, who do you Discord? 4 important points. I'm going to go with that most important to least important this time, so backwards how the video did it. Importance. Who's important? So in this meta, it's Mercy. Otherwise, it's main tanks. And then whoever else you think is important. You're the Overwatch player. You should know, in a particular team comp, who the big players are. Next most important thing is how free the kill is. Whether or not the person can actually die as a result of your Discord. Next thing is disabling. Can you stick an orb on a Winston to make it so that his job is incredibly hard to do? Is it Doomfist destroying your team? Put an orb on him. He can't do his job anymore. And the last thing is feeding. If you're just sitting there at the choke, spamming back and forth, you might as well Discord their Devo or their Roadhog to feed your team's ults and force them to waste healing resources on that character. Just be careful not to charge the enemy support ults while you do that. Alright, that should be it. Thanks for watching.